All right, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Let's talk about it. Happy Monday to everybody, man. Listen, we had a big weekend, rivals camp in LA, other things going on. Big J is in the house. Big J, what's the word?
Fight on, fight on, fight on, fam. It's so good to see you guys.
Man, how was your weekend, man?
My weekend was fantastic. Praise report. My daughter, she's 15, just turned 15, a little bit earlier this year, and she got thrown on the varsity team as a freshman. And they got her running the relays and the 4x4, and she anchored the 4x4 and opened up in the 4x1. And man, my little nugget is just doing her thing, man. So
What leg is she? What leg?
she ran first leg in the 4x1,
That's what's
and,
up.
and she ran anchor on the 4x4, and she also runs hurdles. So
She running a 4x4?
4x4,
Woo!
4x1. She ran.
Yeah.
She ran. They did a 8x2 100-meter relay. So that's 8 runners that run 200 meters each, and it's a relay. And you pass the baton as you go. I've never seen that before in real life. And she was the anchor of her relay team. I just thought
Yeah.
it is a really cool thing to see my kid train so
Man,
hard and finally just get the bus loose this weekend. It was great.
that's what's up. She got that endurance, man, running that 4x4.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
they won the overall, and their team won the championship. So that's a praise report. So my spring is off to a good thing. You feel me?
Man, that's what's up, man. We'll greet a couple of people. Joe Boy, how you doing, man? Bobby, how you doing? Super Max, how you doing? Fred,
in there, man. Super Max,
Super Max in the house.
Super Max.
Fred, what's the word? Sigma, what's the word? How you doing? Russ, how are you doing? Christian, what's the word? So look, man, we had a massive weekend when you're talking about USC. Well, let me say this first. USC right now, from a recruiting standpoint, is absolutely on fire. And I don't think the fire is getting ready to stop anytime soon. I don't know if you had an opportunity to check out some of this stuff, but they had a rivals camp, and I came out of this very encouraged just for some of the stuff we saw this past weekend, and then we'll just talk about it. And this is one of them that I'm encouraged about. This is Ryder Lyons. You guys see that picture on there, but you notice that big towel coming out right there off his waist. And Ryder Lyons, man, look, he's been crystal ball to USC and this is another guy, Vlad. Both of these guys are out of Folsom, and I'm loving this right now. I actually talked to Vlad, but you see Ryder with the towel, Vlad with the hat. Jay, what does that speak to you?
You see why I'm wearing my glasses.
Yeah.
You see why I'm wearing my shade. It's too vibrant right now. The future way too bright. You feel me? I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited. All I can do is smile. I'm just excited.
So we got these two big guys, man, and somebody asked me about Ryder. Is this legit? Do I think that he's going to be a Trojan? We talked about the likelihood of Lincoln Riley taking Jonas Williams as well as taking Ryder Lyons. And I feel like Ryder Lyons is a lock. And I talked to somebody that was at the camp over the weekend, and they personally asked him, they said, Ryder, are you a Trojan? And his exact words was, let me forget these exact words because I don't want to make it up. But here was his exact words that he responded. He said, I asked him if he's a Trojan. He said, oh, yeah. He said, no doubt, with a big smile. So I believe that Ryder Lyons is going to be a Trojan, and the likelihood of Lincoln Riley taking 2 quarterbacks. Hey, look, Lincoln Riley is the quarterback guru. We know that. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams, the list goes on and on. Jonas Williams just committed. I don't see why it's going to stop anytime soon. Jay, what's your thoughts on that?
Man, one thing that I encourage everybody to recognize is everybody's freedom and ability to make necessary pivots if they need to, right? And that's including our top recruits, our high-end prospects, such as that of a Ryder Lyons. His older brother is already at SC, and so he can get some insights into some of the changes within the program. So one, I'm going to say that that's something that really works well for the family, particularly when coordinating and scheduling trips. coming out to see games, travel. You want to see both of your boys play, and if they're both playing on two separate parts of the country in the same weekend, that's tough. That's strenuous on the family.
Big time.
Now, as long as SC is continue to do the things that they are supposed to do with regards to helping this young man feel like a priority, I don't see why that there will be any reason why we don't see Ryder and Walker both wearing Cardinal and gold before it's all said and done.
No doubt, no doubt. It's important to realize. Oh, go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. But if he doesn't end up at SC, we just have to say we thank him for one, the consideration, and also the fact that he's considering SC and still saying that he's a SC guy. That will continue to bring recruits just in and of itself with his whether it's in a hard concrete affiliation and confirmation, or whether it's the idea that he's going to be there. That's still going to draw other players who are pretty much considering that 27 cycle to want to lean towards SC for the potential to have him as their quarterback coming in on that class. So to me, it's all good. All of it's good, no matter what. No
doubt. And I think it's important too to really, for those who are watching, to understand too that Ryder does have to take. I think Walker only did a year mission, so Ryder, he'll be actually coming in for the 2027 class, and then of course you got Jonas Williams with the 2026, and then the Son Longstreet. So the way the quarterback is set up, hey, shout out to Roy Benuelas too.
Hey, Roy, what's
the
up,
way
man?
This thing is set up, I think is really it's a beautiful thing, man. Brandon, what's up?
I agree.
So look, man. So let's move forward. We kind of dealt with the brief recruiting that happened over the Rivals, but since you've been on, there's been some somewhat of announcement that USC is not going to have an official spring game. Let's talk about the pros and the cons to that, as well as let's talk about from an injury standpoint. Do you think that prevents injuries, or do you think? I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, I've rarely seen guys go down in the spring game. I mean, I've seen knickknacks, but I can't remember a time where we lost a player for a substantial portion of the season based on the spring game. If anything, I can recall coaches saying, even if you have like a small little knickknack, you're not going to play in the spring game. You're not going to participate. Right. So I'm not sure from an injury standpoint if that really factors in. But what I will say is, from what I recognize with regards to showing your opponent, showing the country your hand prematurely, you're creating scouting tape, right? Now, I love the spring game. I love it. It's a tradition that I bring.
Absolutely.
I bring kids in my community who want to see USC football. I take them into the press box. I bring my little nephews. My children have gone since they were little kids, and they love it. I mean, to go and interact with the players face to face like that in a non-stressful game environment is very fun. It's a tradition in the Walker household. It is a huge tradition. It's a massive deal for us. So for it not to happen is a little bit of a gut check. However, I recognize the leadership and the capacity of I think, for lack of better terms, the intimacy of this new program. And it is a new program. And it is something that they're still putting together in a way that I don't believe that they're ready to reveal their cards. They're holding their cards close to the chest in a lot of ways. And I'm okay with that. I do feel like there has to be some type of spring celebration, because we do want to get in there and show the athletes love. But I also know that after the spring game, if you remember after last year's spring game, we had players that were balling in the spring game that we didn't get to see in the regular season.
Absolutely.
And after that, a lot of those, several of those players jumped in the portal. Teams scouted them based on what they saw in the spring.
Yeah, and that's the point. I think that's where we're driving at right now, because this is Texas just canceled their spring game too. And this is the significance of, this is how impactful NIL is, transfer portal, all these things. Now it's like you can't even have a spring game. Now I am told that there's going to be a private thing. I talked to somebody and I was told that there's going to be a private thing, so they will be able to to be able to see the talent and be able to scout that talent out. I'm talking about within the program to be able to see who's going to play where and how, you know, things are going to be leading up to the fall. So there is going to be something, but it's just not going to be open to the public.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with new changes. I mean, we don't want to be insane, right? Expecting a different result by doing the same thing over and over again. So if this is something that they've cultivated within the locker room, the athletes are on board, the staff's on board, the administration's on board, and we as a supportive body of fans, followers, alumni, people who love the program, if we could just get on board with a little bit of transition, I mean, you know, Sam Cooke said it, a change is gonna come.
Yeah.
So let's just kind of embrace the changes, although they feel different. I think we've been craving something different, and I salute Coach Lincoln Riley for championing change, and we've been screaming at him for it. So we can't now judge him, you know, negatively without seeing the results of the potential impact of the changes he's making.
No doubt, no doubt. And I think you know, a lot of guys, I think they're on board. I think you alluded to it last time. These guys are kind of moving in silence, and you like what you see. I love what I see right now, and I think the future is still going to be bright. This may be one of your guys, Peyton. He said, "Yo, what's up, Coach?"
Oh, what up? Get out of here, boy. What up?
Yeah, they tapping in, man.
They tapping in, man.
That's a future Trojan, man.
No, we got to get you in this Cardinal and Gold, my boy.
Got to get him in there. But one of the guys, man, that I feel like I had an actual breakout guy, and he was kind of a guy that I kind of seen him last year really break out to do some different things under Eric Henderson. But it's a guy like Devin Tompkins, man. And I watched this video. They had a video with, I don't know if you seen it on social media. USC put Makai Lemon. They just talked about all the homegrown guys that stuck it out and why it's important to stay home. Makai Lemon spoke, and then Devin Tompkins. But when I seen that video, it just kind of really, it did something in me, man, because Devin Tompkins is one of those guys. He was a basketball player, and he's really developed into a football player. And I truly believe with all my heart that after watching that video too, Devin Tompkins could be a guy that is going to absolutely break out, man. Like, what is your thoughts on Devin Tompkins?
Well, you know, he was a little bit lean when he first came in, comparatively. I mean, he's a monster, but he was a little bit leaner. And some of the more recent photos or images that I've seen of him just looks like he's just filled out so much more.
Man.
And I think he has just so much more aptitude and insight of how to play that position with a strong point of attack. So I do think that he has one of those motors that if you give him more reps, that's the kind of guy who's so, I mean, like he's a guy like Anthony Beavers. If you just give him more reps.
Yeah.
If he was a guy like, unfortunately, you know, who's no longer with us. I don't even want to name drop like that, but I mean, we just like Rajon, for example. When you give him more reps, they show you what they got. They show you what you got. And I'm reading what my brother Keith Roders is saying. Iron sharpens iron, and that's why I also feel like you know, Ryder coming in is one of those iron sharpened irons. That's Proverbs 17 or 27:17.
Yeah.
Iron is iron, right? And so as one man must sharpen another, one brother must sharpen another. You don't want to go into a quarterback position where you don't have anyone to force you to play at a higher evolutionary level. So
right.
You want to go into a competitive space where you can get the most out of everything. Like literally you're squeezing every drop and every ounce out of it. And so I see a guy like Devin T, right? Give him 30 snaps a game and see how much production, see how much violence he has, see how, you know, what, you know, Coach Sean and Coach Henny have taught him how to play in the trenches like that. And I know that he can succeed at a high level. And then you accompany him with some of the other newer guys coming in, especially in the middle. Like the rotation is going to be very stupid. And he's one of those guys that, again, is homegrown, in my opinion, and stay loyal to the soil. And I believe we're going to reap the fruits of his efforts. No
doubt. And you alluded to Ryder. it's always been like this competition. You talked about this a while back when you played under Pete Carroll. How many guys? I mean, nothing was guaranteed, man. Multiple guys. Matt Liner, I mean, Carson Palmer, I mean, Matt Castle. It always has been like this as far as
Booty, Sanchez, and it
yes,
just on and on. Think about all those names. You know, I could go in the receiver, just down the receiver room, down the secondary guys. It's the mission is competition. Like that's the mission. That's the way you become more fortified as a player. To go into a space where you have no competitive depth, you don't get to grow. I mean, there's nothing that forces you to strain and struggle to the point where you become stronger. And so, just like a caterpillar creating a chrysalis, it's this little slimy larva that turns into a little critter with all these legs, and then right, and you're just like this young little like
yeah,
mealworm basically, and you got to go into the lab and get into the cocoon and compete in there until where you can grow and fight until you're strong enough to grow wings, evolve, bust loose, and then fly. And so that's what coming in as a young guy with competition does. It creates a metamorphosis. That's what I'm looking for. And you have now Hassan chasing Jaden. You got Jonas chasing Hassan. And then I think it's only natural that you'll have a guy like Ryder chasing Jonas. That is an evolution. That is what it's supposed to be. So we can see the lineage trickle down the pipeline and we can always broadcast a very compelling, promising future.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No doubt, no doubt. So look, so we dealt with that, and I want to move on. We're gonna open some of these calls up real quick because I know we got limited time. Shout out to everybody, man. We're gonna open some of these calls, but real quick before I open them up, and I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I know you wanted to say something real quick. You go ahead and do your thing. We're gonna open up the chat, and hey, thank you very much, Supermax. Okay,
Supermax, man, Supermax is the Supermax. You the homie. I swear, every single time. Fight on, sis. Like 100%. Be Ham in the building. That's right.
absolutely.
That's my alma mater, guys. Birmingham Patriots.
Absolutely.
Hey, check this out. I was disheartened this past week or so, just scrolling along social media, and then I stumbled across something that really it just kind of disrupted my spirit. And I will say this: there's no shortage of remarkable content creators in this USC community. I mean, some of them I am truly, truly fans, admirers, supporters of. I mean, I love what we're doing as a whole. And then there are some who tend to vex me because I can sense the spirit by which they produce content. A lot of it is clickbaiting, a lot of it is performative, and a lot of it is capitalistic, taking advantage of the positives and the non so ideal situations our team goes through. And that vexes me. I mean, it really does. And so I stumbled across a tweet or X, right, accusing some of the people in this community of attacking other creators in a certain way. Now, what I'll say is, a tree by its fruit, a zebra by its stripes. For anyone to attack or accuse people in this community of attacking someone else's character on USCJ's behalf it's a complete far-fetched.
Crazy.
I mean, Jay, you know what you know your heart, and I do too. It's why I rock with you pretty much exclusively, because a lot of these other folks, you just can't trust their intentions. So for all of you who know who USCJ is, you know that we know who he is. So we don't misrepresent him. We don't go online and attack people violently or threaten people or call people out of their name disrespectfully and then put USCJ's name on it. Man, that's a troll if I've ever seen a troll.
Troll. And immature, childish,
insecure, very, very, very insecure. And you know what? I am talking to you, whoever you are who creates these burner accounts, creates these fake tweets or whatever it is you're doing. If you're offended by what I'm saying, then you know it's you. and you know it's true. So don't drip your insecurity and squeeze it out into our community because you feel threatened. Stop. Stop. There's enough space for all of us to properly discuss, to comment, to create, to produce into this environment. And we all need to uplift one another. And I guarantee you, whatever things that you whisper behind closed doors, you would never be man or woman enough to say it to either of Jay or in my face or in Jay's face. I guarantee that, because when you are faced with truth and reality, you fold when you're a liar. So I don't know if you're creating fake accounts and creating fake comments from fake accounts, but stop it, guys, whoever you are. And you know it's you. And so the blood that you're feeling right now, listening to this, the nervousness in the pit of your stomach because you're getting called out, we all see you. We all know.
Never posted that foolishness in the first place.
We all know who you are.
Anyway, yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, man.
Fight on.
Fight on. We're going to open these calls up, man. We got the first call. Appreciate you, Jay. Leon, what's the word?
Fellas, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Yo, Jay.
Man.
Jay Walk, what's happening?
What up,
man? We talking about the recruiting. We talking about, the California love that's taking place, man. What's your thoughts?
Man, listen, I was checking out some video from the Rivals camp. That young boy Wilder.
Hey, wait, hey, no. I got some stuff going on with him for tomorrow. hey, and he's a 3-star, bro. Man.
Hey, listen, we need to go find out who these people to do the rankings and fire some people.
That's why I'm starting to hidden gems, bro.
I know I check you out every time you post
it. Yeah. Because of that reason.
Yeah, he looked really good, man. He looked unguardable, unblockable, I should say. Vlad, Tom, Tofi, they all look good, man.
Man,
there's a lot of talent. Come on, Jay Wall, why you do that?
What I do?
He already had them on, bro.
I know. He had them on, then he took them off, then he put them back on.
Hey, that's because I wanted somebody to see my eyes.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man.
It's an abundance of talent, man. And even looking at Tom, man, his motor yesterday, just man, if we could get that flip with him, I think USC is going to be in some phenomenal shape. Now, I posed a question the other day, and Jaywalk he responded to me, and I agree with him. If we had one to pick, would it be Tom? Would it be Bowman, or would it be Chris Henry Jr.? But what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, Tom.
Huh?
Tom, without question.
I agree.
I like.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
I like his motor. I like his toughness. I like his attitude. Like, sometimes, attitude to carry you a long way. And I think his attitude is infectious. Like, you see somebody who goes hard, who don't quit, got that nasty streak in them. That kind of, infectious throughout the whole team. I like that, man. Tom all the way, 100%.
No doubt. I'm of the opinion now, no man left behind right now. And I'm gonna tell you that why. Because the momentum that we have right now, I just truly believe that I believe that we could do it, man. I believe that we could flip all of these guys right now based on the momentum that we have, based on how this program is headed in the upward trajectory. Jay, what you think?
Man, let me tell you something. I believe we can get Wyatt, Tom, Bowen, Bowen, and Henry. I believe we can get all 4 of those guys over there at Modern Day.
Yeah.
And the reason I believe that is because we've always had a healthy tradition of taking those types of athletes, keeping them close to home, and then really building a fence around that pipeline. So things did unravel a lot within the integrity of our program and our leadership. And I believe that that's no longer a factor. And so it only makes sense for athletes to grow up so close to home, yet far enough away to have your independence, but close enough to be connected to the family and have your support. And Modern Day is not far from SC. Not at all. For those of you who don't understand the geographical, approximation, it's close. It's about a little less than an hour. It's about 48-minute drive or so, maybe 50-minute drive. That's home, but it's far enough away from home to where, you get your independence as an athlete. So all these guys that play for modern day, we can show them here at SC what it is like to have that connection and that affiliation, because when you come back home, and most of these guys are going to most likely want to live in California again at some point in their life. And when you're driving around with that USC alumni USC football alumni bumper sticker, or that placard on your license plate, it carries. It carries. I mean, it really carries. I'm talking like police driving behind you, they come up next to you and be like, dude, like, yo, fight on. Yes. So you guys want to have this, not just for your career, but what's beyond that as well. So there's just so many nuances to having these athletes stick with their hometown dominant team, which is the Trojans.
No doubt.
And
Leon, anything else, bro? I'm gonna take this other call.
Okay, just like you said, Jay, watching that video that Mekhi Lemon and Devin Tompkins was on.
Man, that was beautiful.
And Devin said, like, when he goes home to Northern California, how all the little kids is running up to him and asking for autographs and stuff like that. Like, he said he thought he would never be in that place, but look where he's at now. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
won't be a starter. I love Devin Tompkins, man.
Man, he's a beast.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
More reps, man.
Brought some guys in, but I don't see none of them guys starting over Devin Tompkins, man. I think he's got that D tackle spot locked up.
The D tackle spot or the defensive end?
You going D tackle?
I got Silver and Devin Tompkins at nose tackle and D tackle, and then I got Cam Fountain and Lucas.
Oh,
okay. So that's a conversation to be had. What about Josh Jarrett?
Josh Jarrett and Jade or Kobe Pepe as the second unit, and having maybe a Stewart and Shelby at the other ends.
Yeah.
Like I said on, I think it was a couple podcasts ago, you will not see a drop off between the first unit and the second unit when it comes to SC defensive line moving forward.
I agree. I just don't know how those guys, man. I think Josh Jarrett, I don't know. I'm not even going. I want, I'm like this. May the best man win, but I don't know, man. Devin Tompkins, I know he could play, but Anthony Lucas, I know he's going to play that end, and I know Cam Fountain's going to be on that other side. So, and Devin Tompkins they had him going both ways last year, inside and out. So, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
All right, man.
All right, my man. All right, big dog. Take it easy. Fight on. Christian, how you doing, man?
My brothers.
What's the word? What's the word?
Hey, got people going in the bathroom doing work to not miss the show, man.
Oh, man, it's all good, man. How you doing, though?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain. What's going on, Jay? Well,
good to see you, man. That's
man. Yeah, man. I don't know about Tompkins on the interior, because what I'm hearing is that he's moving back out the defensive end. So, but we'll see. We don't get no spring game. We don't get no spring game to get a taste. So, you know what I'm saying? They putting us through a drought. But it is what it is.
So you think Tompkins will play what position?
I mean, from what I'm hearing, I don't say that they moved him to defensive end, or at least that's where they had him on the depth chart as of now, was at defensive end.
Well, he played defensive end last year. Well, he played both, really. He was kind of going inside out. And
he was mostly on the inside, but I think he's gonna be more on the outside this year.
I prefer to let him use his length and his agility outside. I mean, this dude is a basketball. He has basketball quickness on a football field, and his side to side is great. We just, he had to get a little stronger on the point of contact in certain things, but I mean, also he was getting doubled a lot. So I believe putting him outside, isolating him with a tight end or like a tackle who's not as fast, I believe that's where he can eat.
Right.
No doubt. But he has a motor, man, and I'm agreeing with Jaywalk on that. But we'll see how it goes, man, because these guys, One thing, and as Leon stated, I think the depth is going to be there enough, and I think it's going to be a rotation. If a guy doesn't start, I don't think a guy has to be too concerned. And we could see that at a lot of positions, man. Some in the secondary, maybe, possibly, I don't know. But I think it's going to be a good big time rotation, man, enough to where guys can still eat, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait.
So Christian, what else, man? What else about the Rivals camp, man, that you saw that you really like?
Man, I like all the USC swag out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like all the USC swag out there. I mean, I don't know how much I should take it, but with Lions having it, his swag on, everybody else having their swag on, having their USC gloves, man, it just looked good. Tom looked good out there.
Yeah.
I know me and you were talking the other day, via chat, but definitely hope we can, go ahead and get him on locked in. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, man, I'm just so impressed, and the wall is, you know what I'm saying? The wall is getting built back up. It seems like, you know what I'm saying?
It really is.
And I'm loving it at the wall around California. Like, you're not just gonna come in here, Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State, no more, and just get our top players. So, man, that's the most beautiful thing around it, is that I love that this wall is getting built back up.
I agree with this. Yeah.
No, that's facts, bro. It's facts. It's getting built back up. And as I stated, I think I kind of mentioned it last week, man. I think it was a false statement to say that Lincoln Riley didn't recruit California at all. I really believe that. And I'm going to tell you guys why. We talked about Peyton Woodyard, Kingston, all these guys that they brought in Troy Polamalu, right? We talked about Roger Pleasant, Dakota Fields, multiple different guys that decided not to come to USC. And we brought him in, whether what's his name, the guy from Notre Dame, the linebacker that just committed. Well, that committed a couple months ago. Him as well. Yeah, Madden Ferremo. So it wasn't like USC didn't go after guys at all. It's just that I don't think we covered the whole state and went after some of the guys that maybe had the 3 stars like we probably should have, that we see now these guys in the rival camp. So now I think we're seeing a little bit different. And we saw that with the guy out of Fremont, big time guy, Andrew out of Fremont, just committed to USC. Normally in the past, we wouldn't see that. So now we see a little bit different.
Yes, sir. I'm loving it too, man.
I agree with that. I believe Lincoln, for lack of better words, I mean, he didn't have a lot of the resources that he needed to secure those young men. That's really what it was, man. He was, he didn't have a nice hand, to play with. He had to do what he had to do. And so it's tough to see that and know that, and to understand intrinsically kind of what's going on and what isn't going on that should be happening. But, I don't want to comment on things like that, because I know that it's still a work in progress. And I've known that we were trying to get this front office together for the last 2 years, 2.5 years, trying to get this front office together. And I think had they made overzealous hires, I think if they moved too quickly, we would not be in position to do what it is we're doing today. So
that's a great point.
Like the metaphor that I made of like allowing things to bake in the oven a few, maybe a month or two ago, where I'm like, we have these ingredients, but you gotta let them cook. And then every now and again, you might have to modify the recipe. Like, this used to have raisins. Let's get rid of the raisins. Let's put some chocolate chips. Chocolate chips in there instead, right? And most people think the chocolate chips taste better. We just got to let it bake now. And so now I believe Coach Riley is letting it cook, and the patience is one of the things that the Lord talks about all the time. It's like patience is such a strong virtue.
It's a virtue, yes.
Really, really is. And it's one of the most difficult things to really conceptualize, but to have patience and faith, and then consistently, pray and positivity matters. It allows everyone to make better choices. And I am talking to kids in the area that I'm at, and they read our message boards like you would not believe.
Yeah.
You would not believe how in tune these athletes are with everything that you say. That's how I know which content creators a lot of these athletes love and don't like. They're looking for the negative ones. And guess what? They screenshot it and they clip it up and compare and contrast. They screenshot it, they clip it up and say, see, why would I go here when this is how they talk about the athletes? Or here, this is where they love the athletes. Like I can go talk to a group of young men at a local school here in Southern California, and at any moment, like put it this way, I was at a track meet this weekend. I ran into some kids from Loyola. They got one of the best running backs in the country, in my opinion, out of Loyola that no one's talking about. I'm actually gonna get with you on that, Jay. Man, this sophomore, he's a beast. He's a beast. And I'm like, no, he's a junior, sorry. And he's an absolute animal, right? And so I'm talking to him a little bit about what his goals are, and they know about what we're saying.
Yeah.
Kids know what we're talking about. And they're making their choices based on how they're going to be perceived when they step on campus. So what you write matters, okay? Make sure you're writing things that edify people.
Absolutely.
I like other content creators in this community who make a living on tearing young people down and trying to profit from it.
Absolutely. Christian, I got to take this other call real quick because they're coming in. But
y'all be blessed, my brothers.
Hey, likewise, fam. I appreciate you, man.
Already.
All right. Aaron, how you doing? Aaron, are you there? Let's see. Aaron, are you there?
Well,
Aaron, you got 3 of them going right now.
B Jenks, yeah, that is some quality D-line depth that we have, man. It's exciting to see a D-line like this. We haven't been like this since the Wild
Aaron,
West.
are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yeah.
I hear you now. Okay.
Oh.
Let me take one of yours off real quick. I don't know which one
is.
I don't know which one is which. Let me see.
Bottom right one is not live.
Okay, you there?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let me take this other one off then. Okay, Aaron, how you doing?
Good. Yeah. Hey, so D-line stuff, especially like you got to understand with Deanton Lynn, like it doesn't matter if Devin's starting at defensive. It doesn't matter where they're at on the depth chart. It comes down to situational stuff. Like Devin Tompkins on an inside versus a guard with his length. Guards, you know how guards are. Like they can't move left or right. They gotta have help on either side of them. Like there was one play, and I want to say it was versus either Texas A&M or one of our last games against. I think it was versus Nebraska. He sacked Dylan Raiola. That's right. So he was on that guard, went inside, spin move right into Dylan Raiola, sack. Like, and then you can have his like NASCAR package is going to be this year.
Yeah.
37 plus. Like you can have Jakeem Stewart at nose pass rushing. You can have Devin Tompkins at the 3. You can have Cam Fountain and Anthony Lucas all on the field at the same time. Like,
man, and that's great. The depth and the talent is really, when you think about the talent, it's you're right, bro. It is insane. I almost forgot about Jakeem Stewart, but how they gonna work him in is going, that's gonna be a whole nother mystery within itself.
Think about him on rundowns. Like you have him and because Anthony Lucas, like as long as his knee's good, that dude sets the run better than any defensive end on this team. You got Anthony Lucas. You can put Jakeem at the weak side edge or the strong side edge. Jakeem, Ja in the middle. Like you have so many different ways to just stalemate the line of scrimmage with all these players. And Deanton, that's the one thing I'm not worried about. Him being creative, because like you can have Eric Gentry coming off the edge too. Like he can play on the edge, drop back into coverage, 6'6". You try to throw a little seam pass over the middle, man, he's gonna pick that off.
Give me that.
There's just way too much. And then now, and because I know, for me, like the youth at corner is going to be like a little bit of a problem, but I'm not worried about that at all. You got Doug Belt, you got the new DB coach. Like we have dudes who played or who are coaching at the NFL level, teaching these freshmen how to play. I'm not worried about depth. We just need to get the young dudes on the field. The recruits need to see these young dudes on the field and how they perform. Now, granted, they're going to make mistakes. That's fine. But the new recruits will be like, I won't make that mistake. I'll take to the coach and I'll get in there. And they'll commit. That's why our DB class is so good. Like if
no, I totally agree with you, and I think we got good enough young corners, man. Like Braylon Conley, I really can't wait. What I saw him do even leading up to the fall, what I saw Braylon Conley do, he did some phenomenal things, and then Marcellus Williams, interception in the spring game last year, and then Isaiah Rubin. Yeah, we got some guys, man. Still got DeCarlos Nicholson. We got some guys that I feel comfortable, but I think that push up front, to your point, we got enough depth up front to where we cause havoc in the trenches. I think we're gonna be able to move and groove, and it's gonna free those guys up a little bit to kind of relax and just play, opposed to having a quarterback back there that has all the time in the world to just be able to get the ball down the field. You get what I'm saying?
Just like it was palms, it was cover 3, corners playing off. Just don't allow the big play. Just don't do it. Yeah. Allow those, because I mean, who was it? Rutgers was hitting us with like 5-yard outs all game. That quarterback completed like 30 passes on us because we had to make sure we didn't do that. But I would love, me personally, I'd love to see Braylon Conley playing that the short side of the field, cover 2 corner, and just lifting dudes off the ground and putting them on their butt.
He's a hitter, man. He's not just a corner he's a physical corner.
Yeah, you have a dude that comes across, like I see J-Walk right there. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like he's gonna jack some receivers up off the line of scrimmage. Like I would just personally, put him there, short side of the field. There is nowhere you're going except for into our sideline. Like you're gonna get put in the ground. I love that. Marcellus Williams, uber talented, just got to stay healthy. I would love to see him be in the wide side of the field corner. And then, you got those 2 safeties back there. You got our nickel who can be switching from like a star to an actual nickel like we did last year with Greedy Vance. And then I would love to see some of somebody like Anthony Beavers be in there as well, especially like run supporting.
Well, I think they're going to move him at the linebacker spot. I think he's officially moved over to the linebacker spot. But don't forget about DJ Harvey. We got him from San Jose State.
Yeah. So him and I think Anthony Beavers. So it's going to depend on personnel, because sometimes it's a passing situation and you'll have – this is Big Ten. You're going to have 2 tight ends on the field sometimes. Anthony Beavers can cover a tight end, but he could also run support, I would imagine, a little bit better than DJ Harvey. But he's a tackler. That dude tackles. Don't get it wrong. He tackles. But Anthony Beavers, run support and covering tight ends. Like, that's the thing. There's just so many things that these coaches can do with these defensive players, and there's so many different guys to do it. I understand, we're if there's a player like a Jordan Addison or somebody in the spring portal and you cannot pass up, go grab them. But I want the coaches to prove that they're coaching again. USC is not this isn't Florida State. This isn't Colorado. We're not a transfer portal school. We develop our young talent. We put them in the league by year 3. By year 3, these dudes are high first-round draft picks. That's our program. Like, we can't lose sight of that.
That's a strong take, Aaron.
Big time.
I like
it's
that.
Funny that you said that, Aaron, because if you watch the NFL draft, we'll talk about that real briefly too. But they talked about, it was one guy that talked about a particular school. You probably know with the O, and they talked about some of the 40 times. I don't know. Yeah, and they were saying how a lot of guys are coming through the transfer portal and not much development taking place. You could buy a player every year and get the best player, but at some point you have to show that you're a developer, right?
Yeah.
You have to show that you are some of these high school guys that you have. You're going to have to develop, and the only way development takes place, of course, is teachable moments in practice. But they have to get on the field and really get the real game film and see and experience to really understand that. Look, this is part of the development because you learn from your mistakes. So, yeah, development's going to take place, and I think hopefully we can see some of these younger guys this year come up. Some of the guys that you mentioned as well.
And I want to say one thing about that too, because I was doing my own little deep dive, right? If you look at all the Oregon players in the league, there's 2 that came as freshmen to Oregon or high-end caliber players in NFL, not transfers. You got Justin Herbert and you got Penei Sewell. That's the 2. And we were down for 20-something years in sanctions. How many dudes we put in the league that are starting in the NFL right now?
You're making a great point. We can name them off, man. I mean, we could start. You name them.
Amon-Ra. You got
Pittman.
Amon-Ra.
London.
Oh my
Pittman.
Gosh, we can just go on and on. Juju, we can spend the rest of this show.
Leonard Williams. Yeah. I mean,
he's still doing his thing, man. God, dog. Yeah, but no, there's just way too many dudes that USC puts out into the league. And look at Sam Darnold this year. Get a decent team around that dude. Look, like
we just had a safety just signed from the Raiders. Just got re-signed.
And then obviously Kalen Bullock. Out there, man.
Absolutely.
He should have won Defensive Player of the Year for rookies, man. That dude did crazy things with the Houston Texans this year.
Yeah,
but it's just like how many times, and then they're not blue bloods, they got some money to throw around. Sure. At some point, people are gonna realize I can go here and get this bag. I'm sure Pregnant, he was a fantastic Trojan, but when somebody throws enough money, you go there. But I mean, nothing's happening when they get there. They get there, they get their bag, they get to the NFL, and it's just like, yeah, I did that. It's not USC. USC, you come here, you ball out, you get a first round pick. Think about how many times every single year the starting quarterback at USC is a Heisman. Like, hey, like this dude's gotta be in the Heisman race. Like, and some of them don't pan out, but it's just like, dude, you're gonna get that recognition. If you play, you're gonna get drafted high, and you're gonna ball out in the NFL. That's all that matters. You got to get to that second contract. You got to get there.
Yeah,
no, I totally agree with you, man. I even in the so-called down. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
No, Aaron's speaking facts, man. I love it. I love it.
Even in the so-called down year, man. I mean, USC's been, I guess, what some consider down, but they still consistently have guys. We could just name them, just shoot off names. I mean, it's not even hard to do in all across NFL rosters right now.
Yeah,
there was a stat that came out. I can't remember what the exact number was between the Super Bowl and the playoffs. That how many players I had it. I think I might have posted on Instagram, but yeah, they talked about all the guys that were active that are currently in the playoffs right now. So we're in the playoffs this past season. So yeah, you're absolutely right, man.
Yeah, and it comes back to it's going to come and work its way back around. Like these teams, the SEC, Oregon. All these teams had 20-something years to do something, and now I'm sorry, but it's over. Like the way that our front is going,
yeah,
like, I know, and I know, like it hasn't turned out on the field, but you're going to see it on the field.
You're absolutely right.
Like it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, he's like, oh, because Josh Pate, all those guys, they do fantastic work, but it's just like, yeah, but we got to see how it goes. I don't think they realize like what happens when LA is being treated like USC is being treated like the LA school that it is. Like when you can flash around this brand and you get these recruits and you're seeing it, like, yeah, sure, we got to play out on the field, but when the recruits are making the connection and they're like, I got to get on this, like that's the kind of things that we're seeing, especially with the Cali talent, because it's just like, oh, like things are different now. Like I better get here so I can stay home. I get the same amount of money that I go anywhere else. I get to stay home, and then we get to compete for national championships. Because you're not going to see, honestly, I don't think we're going to see a year offensively like we did last year from Lincoln Riley going forward.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt. To sit here and be like, all right, how many times I'm gonna give Lemon, I'm gonna give Lane 15 targets a game. We're gonna do CD Westbrook. And we're going to do D.D. Westbrook and C.D. Lamb all game. We're just peppering them with the ball, and then we're going to run right through the A-gap and then just smack dudes in the face. Like, that new center, like, I went back and watched his stuff. God,
he's very nasty, man.
He's
out of Syracuse, yeah.
Sector, but that dude, oh, man. Syracuse
is nasty.
Ran the ball more, too, as well. I mean, granted, Kyle McCord did his thing, kind of giving the bird. Ohio State a little bit this year with those passing numbers, but like this is gonna be just such a balanced team, and like
absolutely. Well, look, Aaron, I got other calls coming in real quick, but man, I definitely, man, absolutely good take, man, and I totally agree with everything you're saying, man, especially that center too. He's on point. But I definitely appreciate you, my man. Hey, Aaron, where you out of again? I can't remember.
So I'm in Louisiana. I'm over here making those Jakeem Stewarts come over here. I'm hitting all the.
Oh, okay. You're in Louisiana. Okay, that's what's up, man. Hey, I know all about Louisiana, man. Family there, man. Crawfish, boudin, all that, antouffee, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
all my kids though go to USC, so we'll have a little pipeline when they come up through the ranks. I'll let y'all know.
Hey, what part of Louisiana are you in?
So I'm in the Shreveport area, so it's like.
Oh my God, you're in Shreveport. I know. Hey, I got family. All right, man. All right, my man. Hey, take care, man. Fight on. B, what's the word?
What up, Jay?
What's good? What's up, Jay Walker? What's up, CJ?
Man, what's the word, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. I was just listening to the show, and wanted to call in, and I watched one of Jaywalk's old game, the Arizona State game. That
Yeah.
that game where he had that last pick in the corner of the end zone. He played that perfect. I don't know what kind of defense you guys was in, but you stacked the guy and forced the quarterback to throw it to the back pylon, and you picked it off. So yeah, I was just looking at that rerun, man. You played that perfect, man. So I guess I want to say we got to get our defensive backs back to playing coverage ball like that. You know, we getting the recruits, everything is lining up, but now we got to make sure that we teach technique. The coaches teach the technique, and put the proof on the field. I think that's going to continue that progress that we're showing right now. Is putting that product on the field. So it's one thing to get them in, but what are we doing with it? So, yeah, I'm not going to stay on long hold you guys to talk your ear off, but just want to say what's up to Jay Walker, USC. Jay, man, I appreciate the content, all the hard work that you put in, man. You know, go ahead, let's get this season. I hate that we're not having that spring game, but I understand why they're not doing it. You know, with this NIL era that we're in, and the way they come in and post kids, and just entice them. It's kind of hard. I don't want anybody to get down on these kids. It's kind of hard for an 18-year-old kid that has never had anything to turn down $250,000, $300,000 in one lump sum like that. So don't get too upset at these kids, man, for taking that opportunity, to secure somewhat of a cushion for their family, man. So yeah, I just wanted to speak on that, man, and you guys keep going, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We
Hey, I
appreciate
definitely appreciate you, B.
so
Definitely appreciate you.
much love, Jenks. So much love, man.
All right, y'all, fight on.
Right
All right, fight on, big dog. All right, man. Look, if that's all, that's it, man. We don't have any more in the chat. We always keep it under an hour anyway, man. Me and Jaywalk trying to get these schedules together. Sometimes we be lost in the barbecue sauce, but we here though. We here, and Jaywalk made it happen. It's rough, bro, trying to get it together, but we here though. We are here.
Can I say one thing?
Hey, let me say before you say that.
Oh, go for it.
It's not that Jaywalk never wants to be here. It's that the schedules always conflict, man. So it's just like, but once we get it, we here.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay.
We all live active, full throttle lives, serving the Lord, serving our families, serving our communities, doing the best we can. The thing is there's a reason why I believe people come back to your platform, Jay, is because you're authentically sincere about everything you do. And there isn't a negative thing that someone can say about you or your intentions that's honest. There just isn't, man. And so I love you so much, bro. And I could say that.
Likewise, fam. Absolutely.
Full depth of my spirit. I love what you're doing for these young people. I love the voice that you have for our community. I love your consistency and everything that you do. Even when you be misspelling words and mispronouncing people's names.
Hey, let me say something. Let me. Here's something people don't know. Jaywalk, you know this. I'm lost in the sauce with names. You know that. But a lot of people don't realize this. I'm on the road. Like, so I work in the evening, right? And this is what I want the people to know. Sometimes, like, I'll make a video at home, but then, like, sometimes when I'm editing and I'll have, when I'm doing stuff on my phone, don't think I don't know how to spell, okay? My phone, man, they have these pre-texts that it puts in there, and sometimes I don't check it because I'm always, I work in the evening times. For you guys that don't know, I don't get off work till 3:30 every morning. Yeah. I go in at 4:30 in the evening. I get up at 3:30 in the morning. So I'm moving and grooving. I'm constantly doing some stuff. I don't double back and check, and I'll be lost in the sauce. But yeah, Jay.
I wake up, I'll be like, yo, Jay, you gotta that name is spelled wrong.
Hey, Jaywalk hit me the other day, and it was like I had just woke up because I had to work last evening, a couple evenings ago. Hey, John, I appreciate you, man.
Hey, John.
Jay, I woke up to a text, and Jay said, Jay, you need to change that spelling. And I said, what are you talking about? So I went on my video. I said, oh, my God. You know how the pretext thing does on your phone, man? I said, wow. So look, man. Hey, don't charge it to my head, man. Don't charge it to my heart. Just charge it to my phone, bro. It'd be having me lost in the sauce.
Hey, and you know what? That's what makes us love you more, man. We know.
Thank you, John.
You don't have a staff. You don't have a team. You're not. This is all homegrown, done with love. You guys, let's appreciate the man for his love. Hey, put the hand claps emojis in the chat and the victory sign for our bro that does this for us day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. We love you, bro. We love you.
Roy, I'm gonna start calling you before I make these videos, man. You can help me.
He be saying them Polynesian names.
Roy. I'm calling you before I make my videos, bro. I'm serious. Real talk. I'll be lost in the sauce.
Hey, we gotta say their names right so they know we really love them. We want them to commit.
Yeah. Man, I don't want them decommit. I don't want them decommit because of me.
For real.
Hey, all right, man. Hey, look.
Shout out to all the Trojans who killed it at the combine this week.
Yeah.
I am proud of you guys, man. Woody.
Oh, Jalen Smith. Woody, Yoda Monheim.
Mona, fight on. Y'all did y'all thing, bro. You guys got your money. Y'all got y'all money, man. Congrats.
Absolutely. So anyway, man, we out of here, man. Happy Monday to everybody. Until later on, you guys already know I got a special video I'm doing tomorrow. USCJ Hidden Gems, man. We got some guys, man. You guys see some of these guys in the rivals camp. It's on and popping. Real talk. Until later on, listen, everybody, we got about 619 people in here.
Hit that subscribe. Hit that
like button. Hit that subscribe button. Until later on, fight on, fight on, fight on.